So you have to know that what you offer is of value and that if you love it, other people will love it.
Welcome to the Sing Confidently, Live Creatively podcast, a show to help you build confidence as you start singing, acting, dancing, and being creative again. Hi, I'm Estelle. I'm a singer, actor, performer, and a beginner voice coach who knows how it feels to want to use your God-given creative gifts, but you stay stuck in fear and doubt. The solution is to start building confidence. You have gifts that you need to grow and use and share, and the world is waiting for you. I want to be there with you to help you do that. It's time to live creatively. So without further ado, let's begin. Hi, welcome back to the show. It's another day, it's another week. I'm so excited for today's episode. We got an interview, honey. Before we jump into the interview and before I introduce our guest that I know is going to be so helpful for you, how are you doing, my friend, my aspiring artist, fellow creative? Like, are we excited for this new year still? Do we still got that fire in us, right? We still got that drive. Keep it up. Keep that fire. Keep that drive. If you need a refresher, go listen to the last couple of episodes about how to, passionately pursue your creative dreams in 2024, because that is what we are here to do. And this show is here to help you. If you need anything at all, that's what this show is for. That's what the performing arts community on Facebook is for. That's what I'm here for. You can always DM me on Instagram at Estelle Avberry, or email me, and I'm happy to support in any way whatsoever. And I just want to see you thrive. Like, I want to see you shining, thriving as a creative, as a performing artist. In my church, a restoration, it's called RCCG Restoration in North Carolina. The theme for this year is Dominion, right? And anyone listening, if you go to restoration, hey, let me know if you're listening. Because the theme for this year is Dominion, and it's all about taking Dominion. And I'm like, artists, listen up. Like, this is what we need. This is what we need to hear, because so many times, like, artists are at the bottom of the barrel. Like, the arts, a career in the arts, like, that's like the last thing on anyone's mind. Like, nobody thinks that's worthwhile a lot of the time, or they think that it's like such a hard thing to pursue, that what's the point, And I want to be here to tell you that no, like, there is a point. Your art is important. It does matter. We all enjoy the arts. We all love the arts. So I want you to know that your gift is worthwhile, and that you ought to and should and have the ability to take dominion as an artist, as a creative, as a performing artist in this year. And I'm so here for that. I'm so here to do that. And I know by the grace of God alone, I am going to do that in this year. Are you with me? Okay, so let's do that. And I'm just so excited to see you shining and thriving, just like I want to see myself shining and thriving as an artist, whether that's auditioning and seeing open doors and growing as a performer. I want to begin to sing even with more authenticity and confidence and boldness. And I want to become a better actor and singer and singing coach as well, right? And that's why I'm literally in a master's program. And at this point, when you're listening to this, I think my classes will just be about to start. And I'm so excited to start learning even more and digging deeper into music and voice and teaching that. And so I want to be better. And I want to pour more into you guys to help you and be of service to you. That's why I'm doing this. And so I know that thriving is a must this year. And I hope that for all of us, I really do. And if you are with me on that, listen in, let's stay together this year. Don't doubt and give up on your dreams for 1 second. Let's keep going. And if you need any support when it comes to that, that's what the show is here for. And I also have some support for you, especially if you know that you want to build dominion and build confidence in yourself as a singer. I know what it's like to really want to feel so confident in your voice and feel confident in who you are as a person and as a performer. And you just you're like, how do I do that? How do I start? How do I get there, right? Right now, I am in the middle of the Sing Confidently program. It's an online live course all about my 4 steps to start singing with confidence, which I've gone over before. I've done a workshop on it. I'll definitely do more on it. And listen up, because it's definitely going to come back. The Sing Confidently program is going to be here for you. Like, this is going to come back. So you definitely have an opportunity to still engage with this Sing Confidently framework, the 4 steps to start singing with confidence. And I'm here to just teach that again and again and help you guys start singing with confidence. And if you feel like, wow, I would really love to be a singer and perform more, but honestly, I just like don't feel very confident, like, I'm here for you. And I want to help you get started. Even if you're not able to be in the program this time around, you can still get started singing with confidence, okay? Go to creativelybyestelle.com/tips. There is a quick sign up form. You can just put in your name and your email, and I will send you a free PDF of my 5 tips to help you start building confidence. So it'll be available for you. Just go there, and it'll automatically add you to the email list, so you'll get weekly inspiration on singing with more confidence over and over again. Like, you're just going to get more of it, but you're going to get these 5 steps to really, these are 5 tips to help you get started singing with confidence. So if you're not able to be in the program this time around, don't worry. You can still start building confidence as a singer and a performer literally today. So go to creativelybyestelle.com/tips, creativelybyestelle.com/tips, because I would love for all of us to be singing and performing with confidence this year, and just to be confident humans, like, period, end of story. If you are a confident person, you will be confident as a singer too. And it's going to impact all areas of your life as well. So make sure that you go grab that. It's free. It's just a free PDF, and it's going to have these tips for you. You can literally take action on any one of them today, and you will see the impact. So make sure that you go and download that real quick, creativelybyestelle.com/tips. Now, today's episode is absolutely aligned with helping you go to the next level as a performer and an artist. I'm so excited because it's something that, like, the show mainly focuses on helping you as a singer, actor, dancer, performer, someone who wants to be a performing artist, meaning that you kind of incorporate all 3, but of course your focus is singing, but just creativity, right? And you want to become an artist, you want to become a performer, and you want to be intentional about it. So whether that means a full-time career, whether that means a little side hustle or a fun creative outlet, but you are intentional. You want to be the best you can be. Now, I've also heard from some of you that you do want to make money, and that's something that you struggle with when it comes to being a singer and performer, aside from confidence and not having the time, which is something else that I hear. But also, you're like, I don't know how to make money, like, as an artist and a performer. Like, how do I make money? This is the episode for you. This is an interview for you. I'm interviewing Gail Keyes-Allen. She is a business coach who has helped coaches and other entrepreneurs find their own niche and build an income and escape corporate so that they can truly level up in their business and their lives. And I'm so excited for you to hear from her because she works with a lot of creative people, and she herself is very creative, and I knew that it would align with you guys because I know that you're all creatives. Like, that's the space. We are creatives here. And so I can't wait for you to listen in and truly, like, listen, take notes. I was taking notes. Take notes on what she says to do and implement them, and truly see how that helps you move forward as an artist, specifically someone who wants to be intentional about actually making money as an artist, as a creative person. And friends, it starts with, getting that business set, getting that sense, getting that mindset of, like, this is a business and it's going to work and it's going to make money. And so I'm really excited for you to get into this. I'm excited for you to hear the conversation with Gail. So without further ado, Gail Keyes-Allen. All right, creatives. We are here with Gail Keyes-Allen. Miss Gail, how are you doing today?
I'm doing amazing.
Yeah.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, me too. You are the money maven. You are an entrepreneur who I've heard your story through Kathy Heller's podcast, like we've talked about, and hearing your story again and again. And then, of course, hearing it from you personally when we were able to first connect. I was just amazed at how much is possible when you, first of all, believe that you have a gift to give, that you have something to share with people, and then you actually take steps to do that, which we're all about on the Sing Confidently Live Creatively podcast, specifically as creatives, as artists, taking those first steps to believe that we have a gift to give and then sharing that with others. And I love how you help people to do that and to turn that into a business and to really make money and to financially support and thrive, financially as well, which artists don't always have that, aren't always encouraged to do. And so I'm so excited to have you on.
Thank you.
Yeah. So give us a little bit of backstory for people who don't know your story. How did you become who you are now? How did you get to where you are now as an entrepreneur and as a creative person too? And what was that journey like for you? Because I want artists to hear how they can kind of see this process in their own lives as well.
Okay, well, I'm probably older than a lot of your guests, so I love to put my age out there because I hear a lot of really young people, like in their 30s, saying that it's too late or they're too old. I'm 67 years young. I have redone, remade, reinvented my life multiple times, but I want to kind of take it back and I'll make it concise. But when I was a little girl, I wanted to be an artist and a writer. Like I was very good with drawing and very creative, and it was not encouraged at all. And so I pretty much kind of put it on the back burner when I went to college and majored in business and played it safe. But I hated it, hated it, hated it. And got out of school, got corporate jobs, hated it, hated it. But then I got to a point, probably in my mid to early 40s, where I just decided to start experimenting and exploring my creativity. So I took drawing classes, I took calligraphy, I took metalsmithing and made jewelry. So I really like started to explore my creative nature. So fast forward to when you became aware of me with Kathy Heller's podcast. I was working in corporate for many years and trying to figure out how can I still tap into this creative side. And when I did her program, I said to her, I want to do something with money and creativity. And it's so funny because I had no clue what that could be. And I experimented a lot. And I think that's one thing that's really important for your audience is that they be willing to experiment. Like whatever you're curious about, I encourage you to go for it, to learn more about it, to try it. Um, no matter what your modality of the arts is, there are so many other aspects of it. If you dance and you're into ballet or modern or whatever, then try tap or try other things. If you draw and use pencil, do watercolor and do other, like really explore other things. And the other thing I like to encourage people to do, and I learned this from my mentor, is to meld two different, totally different, um, like business ideas or topics together. She calls it thought babies, and I love that. It's like you take two different things, like I said, creativity and money. Those are two different things. And what I first started doing was money journaling and also art journaling around money. So using manifestation tools and also just like scrapbooking and all of those things, but all around money. And so if you want to change your money beliefs and you're a more creative person, then you could do an art journal and use affirmations in your art journal, or you could draw and put all around the topic of money and lifting your vibration around money. And that's really what I did. But I noticed that people were creative about my business side because I had run businesses before. I had several other businesses. I ran other people's businesses. And so I decided to get certified as a life coach, and mostly because it helped me totally change the way I view the world, like totally changed my mindset. Um, and from there, I started coaching people on launching their business, do from a creative space, like what Kathy teaches is like figuring out what you're made to do. And that's what I do. I help people turn their passion and their purpose into their paycheck.
Wow, that's amazing. And it's what so many people long to do, might not even realize that they long to do. Like when you're telling your story about, you know, I got into business, I went to school for business and I hated it. And I went into corporate America and I hated it. But like you said it yourself, you're playing it safe, right? So a lot of times we think, okay, this is a safe thing to do, this is the right thing to do. Anyone who's listened to my show before or knows my story knows that I was similarly, like I was on the pre-med path in college. I was in the medical field. Like that was what I was doing. That's what I was working in after college. I even started medical school too. And then God said, no, like I've called you to be an artist and I've showed you that clearly before. And I'd kind of just like been like, oh no, I don't know. I can do it on the side. But and that's valid too. Like you can absolutely have the arts in your life in any capacity, but I knew that God was calling me to actually make it my career and actually go all in on it. And it was something that took a lot of courage, and I see that from you, that it took that courage to realize that no, this is something that I can do and I want to do, and I'm not going to play it safe. I have a gift, I have this creativity in me. And I love how you talked about experimenting. You have to just, I always say, take small steps of action. Like you just got to do something. You just got to do something. Yeah.
And some of the things I left out, I mean, I was a personal trainer and I did catering. I mean, I really did because I like to cook and I used to be an exercise fanatic, like, so I figured I was doing it anyway. So, I mean, I really believe that life is about play and exploration, and that we don't have to fit in a box. And
Yeah.
the other point that I wanted to make too is all those years I was suffering doing something that I hated, and I made 3 times more money in my first year of business than I did in corporate. So it just blew my mind that once I was doing something that I was called to, at the it's like the floodgates opened up. And I want people to know that it does not, like people have told me, like, sometimes I wonder, like, what is it you're doing? Because, you know, I do experiment and I even get creative with the names of my different programs. And when I'm like, I use Canva a lot and I taught Canva and I just make creative pages for the things that I sell. So I find ways to bring it into all aspects of my life. And when it brings you joy, you don't mind spending the time doing it. And that's how you make money. That's how you make money. You do not make money doing the safe thing that everybody else is doing.
Yeah, it's so good. Thank you so much for that. I needed to hear that myself as someone who's also new to like the business space, starting my online voice studio. Hearing you, like, I just feel like there's so much wisdom being poured out. So thank you for that. And I want to kind of like break it down for everyone listening too. So, because you talked about how you work with people, of course, turn their passion into a paycheck. And you mentioned mindset from the very beginning. So,
Right.
when you're coaching people, and I mean, and even from how you saw yourself in your own journey, when you're coaching people and you are taking those first initial steps with them, like in the first few coaching calls,
Mhm.
um, what are those major, like one or two, like major roadblocks that you really have to just completely like get rid of when it comes to mindset before you can even do anything else? Because I want people to know what they are so we can just tackle those first and foremost so we can actually move forward as artists.
That's really good because lately I've been doing a lot of free calls to get in touch with more people and connect and see where their head is at. And the biggest mindset blocks that I see is um, they believe that they can't change, that they can't learn something new, that it's too late. Um, they believe that they can't make money doing what they love. A lot of people let their spouses or significant other, their opinion get in the way. And so those are some of the main things. Oh, and the other thing is they're afraid to make decisions. So that's like the really big one. they are afraid to pick one thing and go all in. And I see that with 99% of the people that I either work with or talk to. Um, in order to make money and to really put yourself out there, you got to make quick decisions. You have to be willing to make a decision, evaluate it, and then redirect. So most people want to like overthink things and make sure they're making the right decision. But there is no right decision in life at all. Because even the decisions you might think about over and over and over and finally make could take you down a road you never thought you would go down. So I definitely, like yesterday, I told a young lady, unless you are willing to make quick decisions, and the first one is deciding what you are going to focus on. I can't work with you. You're going to be stuck, and you can't help someone that's afraid to make decisions. And you can't change your life if you're afraid to make decisions.
That is really, really powerful. Fear of making decisions. I myself have always said, like, I'm very indecisive. So over time, that's something that I'm like working on and have had to work on because you do have to make quick decisions. Like, oh, I'm sorry. When you're wanting to, if you're wanting to be of service to someone when you're starting a business, right, you have to be able to make quick decisions, right?
Yeah,
You have to be able to make, you have to be able to think on your feet, kind of, and just like be
totally,
in the moment, right?
totally. But
Yeah.
if you have, say you want to transition into your own business, like give me an example of a type of business that maybe your average listener would have, or the profession they're in.
Right. So, for instance, if you're an actor, you feel like you've been acting for a while and you'd like to offer acting coaching or coaching for actors or aspiring actors.
Okay, so someone like that, first of all, they would say, I don't know how to do it. That's the first thing that they would say, I don't know how to do it. And then they would say, well, who's going to take me seriously because I never did it before? Well, no, you know how to act. So if you know how to act, you know how to coach people in acting. But unless you believe that you can, you won't do it. And so people, I say, they argue for their limitations. People argue for their limitations all the time, and they will try to convince themselves and you why they can't do it instead of looking at all that you do have to work with. And that's, I mean, we're kind of trained that way. Like I believe in so many ways that we're brainwashed by society that things have to be a certain way. You know, so if I'm an actor, I have to follow this path, and this path is going to lead to success. If I'm a singer, I have to follow this path, and that will lead to success. You know, if I'm an attorney, doctor, whatever, it's not true. It's a lie. And until we're willing to unpack those lies and misconceptions, it's very challenging. It's very challenging. Um, and so I really, really encourage people to ask themselves, is it really true that you don't know how to do it? Because just because you never did something before doesn't mean that you can't do it now. And you have to look for evidence. So the other thing I would ask them is anybody that's a singer doing something different? Is anyone that's an actor doing something different? Look at them for evidence. There are plenty of people in those fields that are doing a multitude of things their own way and making a lot of money. So a lot of times we have to look for proof, look for evidence.
That's so good. Thank you so much for saying that. That's why, like, and these days, of course, with social media, like, you can look up so many different people and you can actually dig in and see, like, oh, they're actually doing this that's different, that's unique, and be inspired by that. And kind of transitioning to that, because I know that you and people that you've coached, right, who have started these businesses, a lot of the times you're putting yourself out there online, right? You are discovering or helping them discover how to create a personal brand, which is so important for artists, especially in this day and age. Like if you want to truly become a performer, you want to become an artist, you got to put yourself out there. Putting yourself out there online is going to be helpful to you.
Right.
When you are auditioning, right? Casting directors, they look online. They want to see like, who are you as a person? And especially if you are also wanting to create a business, right? Having that personal brand is super important and making it cohesive to include you as a performer, maybe you as a business, if you're an actor and an acting coach, you're a singer and a voice coach, etc., dancer and a dance teacher, etc. A lot of people are having these kind of like dual artist entrepreneur goals, right? And so having that ability to brand yourself online is super important. So once like your students and once people have overcome their mindset, right? Those mindset blocks that we talked about, right? Of believing that they have a gift, that they have something, and believing that they can teach it, that they can share it because they've done it before, and not being able to make that decision and to say like, yes, I'm going to do this. Once they've made that decision, once they're tackling those mindset blocks, is the next step to start building a personal brand, to start putting themselves out there, or would you say the next step is to start like testing ideas? How do we get into like building a personal brand? Where does that kind of fall into place when it comes to making money as artists, turning our passion into profit?
Well, I think that a lot of those things overlap. So one thing that I do as far as the mindset piece is a lot of times people aren't aware of their beliefs. So what I will have them do is start showing up online and track what their thoughts are and their resistance is. Because when you put yourself in that kind of situation, you're going to have all kind of thoughts about it. I mean, so many people are like, I'm not doing this right. I don't look pretty enough. My skin looks bad. My hair looks crazy. My this, my that, whatever. So all of those thoughts are mindsets that we work on. They're like sentences in your brain that keep you stuck. So I have my clients do those things simultaneously. So you are putting yourself out there online, you are talking to people, you are testing things, and then you are paying attention to the resistance that comes up. That's really the piece because the resistance is not going to come up all the time in just a regular conversation between me and my client. A lot of those, what I call resistance, or those subconscious thoughts coming out when you're feeling kind of like the stress or the push back against doing something that you really are uncomfortable doing.
That's so important. Putting yourself out there and being aware, like noticing what is the resistance here and then dealing with it from there. But I like that the it's intersectional, like it's all overlapping, because you have to take action. Like you just have to take action in order to see the development and see that growth in your mindset and that change over time. So I love that you said that. Do you think that for instance, let's continue with our actor example, and anyone listening, whatever your creative outlet is, whatever your creative passion is, you can absolutely apply this to the situation, right? So if the actor now is putting themselves out there, they're starting to kind of, show up online. Maybe they're doing monologue Monday, where they're posting themselves doing a monologue on Mondays, and they're talking to people in their comments, and at the same time, they're saying, okay, like I'm struggling with showing up in this way. Let me kind of deal with that. Let me take that more seriously. And then from there, they're saying, okay, like I want to offer up maybe a class or something. I'm going to post it on my Instagram, or I'm going to send it to my email list, right? Do you recommend like, okay, start with a free class, or would you say start building your email list first, right? So create a freebie, maybe create a 5 steps to choose the perfect monologue, free download that you can, let people know about so that they can join your email list. And then from there, you can sell to your email list. How would you say, like, are those first couple steps people can take to start to actually sell? And then we'll get into the mindset of selling as well.
Well, I want your audience to know that I made in 2022, I made 300,000 with no freebie. I still don't have a freebie, and I started my business in 2021, the middle of 2021. So I subscribe to just get started, just talk to people, invite people, tell them to invite their friends. I'm not saying don't do a freebie because you want to at some point focus on list building, but I know that a lot of those things get in people's way. So the thing is to be willing to start with 2, 3, 5, 7, 10 people, like literally, because when you start with those people, then they tell somebody else, then they tell somebody else. And then again, this goes to overlapping. Like, I don't think it should be like, don't do this till you do that, and don't do this till you have that. I believe you have to keep moving and fill in the gaps, keep moving and fill in the gaps. So what you do is you start talking to people, and the thing is to be willing to talk to people, because when you talk to people, then you know their words that they use, and then you use their words in your marketing, in your freebie. So what you think the problem is that people might have may be different than what they think the problem is, or they may express it in a different way. Like the other day, I did a call with a woman, and she said, I feel like an entrepreneur trapped in an employee body. What? So I immediately started using that. Like, if you feel like an entrepreneur trapped in an employee body, we need to talk. I posted it on my Facebook, and then I said, comment below, let's talk. So many people were commenting that, and then you ask them, would you like to get on a call and we could talk about this, and you could tell me how you're challenged with your inability to get parts, or your inability to do whatever it is. So it doesn't have to start out perfect. Like, I really encourage people to start out scrappy. Then once you talk to people, then once you have their words, not yours. Now, these are all based on mistakes I made too, because I didn't know this stuff, but the more people you're willing to talk to for free, it's more data. It's more data, and it helps you to communicate with people better. And then you know what they'll buy too. So if they say, I really need help with XYZ, then you create something to help them with that. You don't create what you think the problem is the way that you would say it. And then focus on growing your list as you go. And a big way to grow your list is to offer a free training. So I'm like all about it. Offer some kind of masterclass, training, challenge, because people will opt into that, and that's how you grow your list. So if you want to coach actors, then you create a masterclass. I would suggest they start with like something that's 1 hour, easy to do. Create a masterclass. Invite everybody. Tell everybody. Like, don't be afraid to talk to people. A lot of people just want to post and run. Like, I posted 10 times on social media and nobody signed up. Okay, talk to some people. Like, posting and running is not going to grow anything. It's not going to help you make money. So from there, you just have to keep communicating, emailing, even if you have 10 people on your list, emailing them, reaching out, offering them something, and they will start to tell their friends. Like, I started offering these free 30-minute sessions, and then people were telling their friends, hey, Gail is amazing. You schedule yourself a call. And then the woman that did that, her and her friend want to work with me. That's how you grow your business.
Yeah. That's so good. I love the part about the offering of free training, because that's something anyone can do even now. Like, even if you're like, I don't even know if I want to, necessarily start a business. Okay, just say like, hey, like, come dance with me. Like, let's do a dance, a Zoom dance class together, or in-person dance class. Like, I'm renting the studio. Come dance with me. Like, it's free. Invite your friends, and you love to dance. You're a dancer. You're a choreographer. Just put together an hour dance class, right? And like all those people can sign up and you get people on your email list. Maybe you don't even know if you want to sell to them. That's fine. You can just do like a newsletter once a month or something like that. And you have people who are there in your community. Like you've already built a community then. So when you are going and you are auditioning for something, or you are going and you are, um, I don't know, yeah, you're auditioning because that's what we do as artists, right? As performers. And you can say like, oh, I have this like online community of dancers, and I know that they would love to see this show, right? That I'm auditioning for, right? And you could promote the show that you're in to this group of people, therefore helping you as an artist even more. So like it always helps to have some sort of online community and platform as an artist, no matter whether, even if you don't even want to be coaching. So this is so, so important for us to understand, because this is how we build and develop as artists, and so that we can make more money, so we can truly, do this and have this as our career path, that is what we know that we're called to do. And so that is so good. So
There,
good.
there's like a perfect example of someone I follow online, and he's
Mhm.
probably in his 30s. I'm sure he's only in his 30s, but his name is La Russell. No, not La Russell. Is that no? That's not his name. Well, I forgot. I can't remember. I wish I could remember. I'll give it to you so you could put it in the show notes because
Yeah,
he
no problem.
he's a rapper, and maybe that is his name. But anyway, he's a rapper and he decided I don't want to be work with a label. I don't want to do things in a traditional way. He started performing in his backyard. I think that is his name. He started performing in his backyard and posting it on Instagram every day. And then he just started inviting people from the neighborhood. I mean, I watched him grow his following. He's over 1 million followers now. And now all the big boys are reaching out to him, but he was willing to do it messy. Like he doesn't dress fancy, he doesn't have anything fancy. Literally, when he first started, he had the garage door open at his parents' house. He was making t-shirts and selling them and performing in the garage. And then they built something in the backyard. I mean, how creative can you get? He's still doing what he loves and he's putting it out there, and people are going to find you. Like for me to find him, what? That's so crazy, right? I admire his game. I admire his tenacity. That's what's required. You do not have to wait for someone else to open the door for you and say, come on in, you're welcome here. We want to pay you, right? You can create multiple opportunities for yourself and do even better than you could if they were offering you something. And I want to give another example. They should watch Sylvester Stallone. They have like his story on Netflix, and I just watched it. And as an actor, no one would give him a part. They thought he looked like a thug. Like they gave him like a couple of like spots as extras as a thug and told him, you're a good writer, you should write, but you cannot act. And so he just started writing, going all in on writing different screenplays and all type of things. And then nobody was like taking him seriously. So for a couple of years, he kept writing, going in deep, like seriously committing his time, like putting blackout curtains up and working all night and truly like giving it his all. And then he decided, if nobody's going to hire me, then I'm going to write a movie for myself and put myself in it. And that ended up being Rocky. And then it was like Rocky 1, Rocky 2, Rocky 3. And then all of a sudden he wins an Academy Award and he's this amazing actor. And we all knew you had talent, but here they weren't paying any attention to him whatsoever. So it's way more important that you are all in on yourself. Like no matter how many no's you get, you got to be all in on yourself because you can go very far that way.
This is so good. I feel like you've given so many people, myself included, so many ideas of how we can go all in, how we can make that fast decision of like, okay, I'm going to just like Larissa or whoever the whoever is, to put myself out there online. That's his name, Larissa, all right. So put myself out there online. Like I'm just going to do this. I'm going to communicate with people every single day on what I do, on what I love to do, because there are people out there who wish they could take a dance class, who wish they could, learn how to act and sing, and they just need someone to say, like, raise their hand, like, hey, I do this, like, I love to do this, I'm happy to help. And our
Totally,
responsibility to put it out there. Yeah.
totally.
Thank you for all those ideas, all that wisdom. I do want to close because I want people to hear what you do. And we've heard about these free coaching calls, and I want people to hear what you do and how you can help them, especially as creatives, right? Because you're from that perspective of your creativity matters. And so I really want people to hear that and hear what you do. But I do want to just touch on the mindset, close on the mindset, and also practicalize it for people moving forward. Because when they are putting themselves out there and they are developing that personal brand and they've done the free training and it's time to sell, and that whole mindset of the starving artist comes to mind of like, is it worthwhile for me to, for my art to like actually make money? Like, is it, because maybe they're not even selling coaching, maybe they're selling their actual art, right? They're a singer and they're wanting to, ask people to stream their music, or they are a painter, right? And they're selling paintings. It's like this whole mindset that has been, just like you said, we've been brainwashed with all throughout our lives, right? Of like, you don't make money if you're an artist. You just don't. Like, you are starving. Your art is not worth being paid that much for. So don't sell for a lot of money or at all, really. You should just do it for free, right? So that mindset might come back in again, hindering us from even taking those action steps of like selling to people after they have taken that free training. So what would you say to that person who's like, okay, I hear you, I got these ideas, I'm excited, but then when it comes to actually selling, I don't know about that. I'm like, I love to do this, so maybe I should just be a starving artist.
Right. Well, nobody should be a starving artist, first of all.
Mhm.
Second of all, you have to be willing to pay for what you offer. So you have to know that what you offer is of value, and that if you love it, other people will love it. But if you're wishy-washy about it, other people are going to be wishy-washy about it. So whatever energy you bring to the work, it vibrates to other people. So it's not really about what other people think of it. It's what you think of it first. And whatever you think of it, they're going to have similar thoughts. So that's something that to really keep in mind. I was in this program, and this lady, it was for business owners, and this lady was a painter. And she was painting singers like from the 70s, 60s, 70s, 80s. And she was doing well, but she was saying that she went to like this outdoor like arts festival, and she decided to paint a couple of people of color. And I think she might be Hispanic. So she did these paintings of a couple of artists of color, sold them out. People started asking for more and more. She started like raising her prices. It's easier, and your people may not have heard this before, but it's easier to sell something expensive than something cheap. It's way easier. I don't know the logic behind it, but I even find that from my experience. When you offer something that's very inexpensive, they don't really view it as valuable. And so you have to look at what the market is. So you don't want to underprice yourself for the market, but also sometimes you just, and I say this, kind of like hit it and run. Like put the price on there, be scared, but do it anyway. Like you're gonna be scared. The first time I told somebody, the first probably 20 times I told people how much I charge, I was scared. I was like, oh my God, they're probably going to think it's too much, and they're probably not going to want to pay that. And then the person says, okay, how do I pay you? And then you're like, what the heck? I did all this worrying for nothing. So you have to be willing to like kind of price it where your system can acclimate to it and challenge yourself a little bit outside of your comfort zone and just keep practicing, saying the price, believing that your work is amazing. Because, like I said, if you don't believe it's amazing, no one else is going to believe it's amazing. They're just not. Your energy is going to be so low vibe that they're going to be like, oh, that's nice. Because who hasn't seen art that you don't get? Like I go to a lot of art galleries and museums and stuff, and I'm looking at stuff like, what? They sold that? They're famous for that?
I
But
know.
somebody loves it. Somebody is going to love whatever you put out there as long as you love it and you are committed to your work.
That's so good. That love and commitment, making the decision. I feel like that's a beautiful place to end. That's where we've kind of just come back to again and again. So I feel like it's what people need to hear. So thank you so much for sharing that. I want people to know how they can find you, how they can connect with you. What's something that you're really excited about offering for people? That way they can get in touch with you.
Yeah, the best way to get in touch with me is on Instagram under my name, Gail Keyes-Allen. And there, like I mentioned, if your people want to get on a free 30-minute calls, these are not sales calls. They're specifically to give value. And if you
Mhm.
find value in it, just give me a testimonial or whatever. But if you found value in this podcast episodes, you'll find value in being coached one-on-one by me. So that's something they can sign up for. The link is in my Instagram. And then the other thing that I have coming up in the next month or two is I'm writing a book and I'm almost finished, and it's called Escape the 9 to 5. Um, How to turn your passion and purpose into your paycheck. And then I'm also creating a 5-day challenge called the 9 to 5 Exit Plan Challenge. And I'm working on a freebie now under a similar title. So it's for people that are like doing work they really don't want to be doing. They're scared, but they need a plan to follow through. And so that's how I help people. I help them figure out like what is their offer? What's their next best thing? What's the thing that's going to bring them joy? What do they really desire? And the big thing is, how much money do you want to make? Like
Hmm.
that's one of the first questions I ask people. How much money do you want to make? Because your plan from there varies depending on how much money you want to make. So
Yeah.
all of those things are what I'm helping people with and what's coming.
So good. Thank you so much. I'm so excited for the book. I can't wait to buy it. I can't wait for the challenge. I can't wait to join it. You guys make sure you get connected with Gail so you don't miss out on any of this. I'll make sure I put all the links in the bio, in the show notes, so that way you have access to that. I would love for you to get connected with Gail. Thank you so much, Gail, for being here and sharing all your wisdom.
Welcome. I loved it. Thank you for inviting me.
Of course. All right. Thank you so much for listening, you guys. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to you later.
Thank you so much for listening to today's episode and to this show. I'm so in awe of you for being here and showing up for your creative gifts. That takes courage. Don't forget to join the Performing Arts community on Facebook for support and inspiration as you continue on your journey. If this episode helped or inspired you in any way, please leave a review on Apple Podcasts and share it with someone. It means so much. Thank you again, and don't forget to keep singing, acting, dancing, performing, and living creatively. Talk to you next time.